Brian, what do you got? What's up first?
Well, I've been thinking a lot about community lately, actually, and one of the things that came out recently, this was a little bit ago, but it's still fairly new, is Django. The Django project announced a new governance model, but it's been going on. I mean, I think they've been working on it for a couple of years, since at least 2018. And some of the specifics are interesting. Interesting. They had like a core team that they dissolved the core team, and they mainly kind of have a new role called a merger person, which they have commit access, but they only merge pull requests. So most of the changes could happen in the pull requests, and the discussion happens there. There is a technical board also that was kept to kind of make some technical decisions if it's necessary, but apparently it hasn't been necessary for a while. The more interesting, I think it's interesting that they switched the governance model midstream, and then also the rationale around it I think is interesting, and the rationale is around trying to get more people contributing it to it. So they had like their core team that hadn't really changed for a long time, and people that were set up as core people really weren't contributing much anymore. So there was anyway, I just thought that was interesting that the reason around changing the governance was around the trying to get new people in.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea because the Django's been around for a long time and it's a fairly stable project. So I think it's kind of hard to jump in. I mean, it's a little bit like Python itself, Guido.
Right. Yeah, I'm thinking that sort of maybe 5 years in the future, Python could consider a similar move, or maybe we'll know that this was not the right move by then from Django's experience. And of course, the situation for the two projects is somewhat different, but we definitely also feel the pain of sort of not getting enough new contributors. But we only fairly recently, like early last year, we changed our governance structure completely. So it's a little early to start considering changing it again, probably.
Right, of course. We're just starting to see the outcome of the decisions and the releases that are actually going through that model, right?
Yeah, that sort of... Well, we've been working with the steering council model for, say, 16 months now.
Yeah, I guess so. 3.8 definitely came out under that model. Yeah.
And the thing that Python did, I think, is kind of interesting, and I don't know if you started it, but the notion of having more core mentors to try to mentor new core developers, I think that's an interesting thing. You can't really like make people be mentors, but that's an interesting way to get more core developers on.
We have a few people who are very active as mentors, in addition to being active as core devs, and it really does make a difference.
Yeah.
But yeah, we don't have enough mentors to sort of mentor everyone who wants to become a core dev.
Yeah. So I think that's really great. I mean, it's one thing to write web apps in Django or to write Python code. It's an entirely different thing to write Django or write Python, right? It's a very different skill set. Mm-hmm. And so I think that mentor model is really a great bridge.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Thank you for watching this segment of the Python Bytes podcast. This video was made during the recording of the full episode. Visit pythonbytes.fm and get the whole story. Subscribe to the podcast and get the entire episode delivered to your phone. Please support our work by taking one of the courses at pythonbytes.fm/courses or learning PyTest with Brian's book at pythonbytes.fm/PyTest. Finally, visit our sponsor shown on the screen here. Visit the link on the screen and get the special offer for Python Bytes and YouTube listeners. Thanks, and have a great rest of your day.